Hi Ryan.
Hello.
My name's Karen. I'll be your student physical therapist today.
hmm
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. So I will be working with you today, and just to start, have you ever been to physical therapy before?
No, I have not.
Okay, so today's the initial evaluation. So all that means is I'm going to be asking you some questions. We'll get to know each other better, and I'll have a better idea of why you're here today. Then, if we have time at the end, we'll go into the beginning of our treatment. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, sounds fun.
Perfect. Okay, so I know you filled out some information for us when you first got here, but I want to go through and make sure I have the right information. So,
Okay.
would you just tell me how old you are?
I'm 25.
Okay. And why don't you tell me a little bit about your occupation?
I am a postal worker,
Okay.
so I'm the guy that gives you your mail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How often are you working?
I work 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Post office is closed on Sunday, so I don't work that day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what does a day as a postal worker entail for you? What kind of, I know you said you deliver mail,
hmm
but as far as physical activity that's involved in your job, can you tell me a little bit about that?
I walk a lot, so I like park my truck
Mm-hmm.
and I walk to the mailboxes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I drive the rest of the time. But I don't really have to lift anything heavy because if it's like too big of a box,
Mm-hmm.
another group of people will take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to hold like that box of mail. That's nothing crazy.
Okay. All right. Um, and how about aside from work, do you have any hobbies or physical activity that you do outside of work?
I don't know if it's a hobby. It's kind of more of a lifestyle, in my opinion. But I do
Yeah.
CrossFit
Oh,
three
awesome.
times a week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, and do you like CrossFit?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Um, and so you said you're going 3 times a week.
hmm
Um, okay, and as far as the reason why you're here today, has that impacted your ability to work or participate in CrossFit at all?
Um, sorry, what was that? What was it?
That's okay. I was asking if the reason why you're here today, if that's affected your ability to do CrossFit or participate at work.
Uh, Sadly, yeah. Work is okay. I feel like it doesn't bother me that
Mm-hmm.
much. But with CrossFit, I it's hard to do the workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of the better ones in the gym, so I feel like I need to be there.
Yeah, that's understandable. Um, well, I'm glad that you're here at physical therapy because that's definitely something that we can work on. Um, so thank you for sharing that with me. Um, and aside from that, let me ask you a little bit about your living situation.
Mhm.
Do you live by yourself?
Yes,
Okay. And do you live in a house or apartment?
I live in an apartment.
Okay. And are you on the? Is it 2 story or are there stairs to get there?
No, I live on the first floor, so I just
First
park
floor.
my car and walk right
Gotcha. Okay. So why don't you tell me a little bit about why you're here, why you're visiting us?
in. Why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I just it's just my shoulder hurts and
Mm-hmm.
my hand starting to tingle, and it's just that's basically it. Once my doctor said come here, so
Yeah.
this hurts.
Okay. So it sounds like there's a couple of things going on, but let's talk about your shoulder. So, are you experiencing pain there, from my understanding?
Yeah, it's kind of like this area, kind of, and
Yeah. Could you show me a little bit? Let's see.
yeah, it's kind of here and kind of diagonal down and in my neck.
Your neck. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it go any further into your head?
No, it kind of stops like where my neck and my
Mm-hmm.
back start, I guess, where they meet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
And
about
then
it.
you said it goes a little diagonal.
Yes, it kind of goes here and goes down towards kind of my armpit area.
Okay. Does it go any further down than that?
No, no,
Okay. Do you mind if I place my hand on your shoulder?
no, it's fine.
Okay. So from my understanding, it's around here,
Mhm.
here, but not any lower.
Yeah, it does not go that
Okay.
low. No.
What about the other shoulder?
Oh, this one's fine. This is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say it's like right over your shoulder blade area is what I'm understanding?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then you just mentioned experiencing some tingling in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So is that in your whole hand or in certain fingers or?
It's like in this finger here and
Mhm.
like the palm.
The palm of your
Yeah.
hand. Okay. Okay. So going back to your shoulder and neck,
Mhm.
if you had to describe that pain and use specific adjectives, how would you describe it?
It's just kind of constant. Like it doesn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
It does get a little better, but it's always there.
It's always
there.
there.
It does not go away.
Okay. If you had to give that pain a number on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the least amount of pain and 10 being the worst, what would you give it right now?
Right now it's like a 3.
A 3? Okay, what about when it's at its worst?
Oh, that goes up to like a 6.
A 6. Okay, and I know you said it never really goes away, but what is it when it's at its best?
A 1. Yeah.
A 1. Okay. Okay, and do you feel like your shoulder and neck have the pain you're experiencing have anything to do with your tingling in your hand?
Now that you bring it up, I think so. Yeah, 'cause I'm usually like this always hurts,
Mm-hmm.
but when it gets like to that 6, that's when I start feeling the tingling.
The tingling.
In my hand.
Okay. Okay. So, just to make sure, I know we're talking about the shoulder and the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Are you experiencing any pain in your lower back?
Oh no.
Any in your arms?
No, besides my hand.
the hand.
Yeah.
Your legs?
No.
All right. Okay, so I drew on this body chart here where I'm understanding that you're experiencing your symptoms. Would you look at that and make sure that I have that correct?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, great. All right, so why don't we talk about some things that make your pain worse? Are there any activities or things that you do that make it worse?
Well, like when I like down,
Mm-hmm.
like that. See, that's already hurting there.
Okay.
It's like right away, and then when
Okay.
I turn to the right, it just comes on like,
Right away.
Yeah, and when I lift, usually like something heavy
Mm-hmm.
at the gym, I feel it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
immediate pain.
Okay. Okay, so all of those activities, the pain comes on immediately. If you had to give those a rating on the scale that we talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
what would you give those?
Yeah, when I look down, yeah, it's like a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And the lifting, is that also at a 4?
No, if I'm lifting something pretty heavy, it's like a 6.
Goes up to a 6.
Yeah, so that's when it's the worst.
Okay, and do you experience any pain or symptoms when you cough or sneeze?
Yeah, actually I do. Like, I sneezed the other day and my hand did kind of go numb, but I didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk about some things that ease your pain. Is there anything that you do that helps helps your symptoms feel better?
Yeah, I have to sit up and put my head in, I guess, in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes it kind of go away.
Okay.
And then
how long do you have to do that for it to go away?
Maybe like 2 minutes, 2 or something like that.
Okay. And anything else that you do?
Yeah, I give myself a massage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that makes it go away.
Okay. And so when you're doing that, it's kind of just in your upper, like, neck area?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to do anywhere else, so I kind of just push.
Gotcha. And how long do you have to massage before the pain goes away?
It's like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. All right, so let's talk about your symptoms and how they kind of behave throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first wake up, what are your symptoms like? Do you experience any symptoms?
Yeah, they're kind of bad when I wake up in the morning.
when you wake up. All right. What about when you go throughout your day?
They're pretty good about like lunchtime or like midday.
Okay,
Better.
better. And what about at the end of the day? Do you have any difficulty with sleeping?
Yeah, because it kind of hurts, but like once I go to sleep, I'm out like a rock.
Okay, so your pain never wakes you up in the middle of the night?
No, never.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, so I took a look here at your medical history form that you filled out for us.
Mhm.
I just want to ask you about some of the questions on there. So under medications, you put that you're taking whey protein.
Yeah.
Is that are you taking any other supplements or any other medication?
Well, usually when I'm sore, I take some ibuprofen,
Mhm.
and then I also take Robaxin.
Okay. Was that prescribed to you by your doctor?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it's for, but I talked to my doctor, and he said I should be taking it.
Okay. And I see that you marked yes for being bothered by little interest or pleasure in doing things. Would you mind elaborating on that?
Talking about what? Sorry.
That's okay. You marked yes for being bothered by little interest or pleasure in doing things. Would you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah, it's just usually I use CrossFit
Mm-hmm.
as like a. Sorry, it's just kind of hard.
That's
to
okay.
Talk about.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah, CrossFit is like it makes me happy,
Mhm.
and when I exercise with all my friends, I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But since like my shoulder it's kind of sucky, my hand is getting sucky. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So have you talked to your doctor about how you're feeling as far as you not being able to get back to CrossFit?
Yeah, I did, and he thinks that if I can fix this, then I should be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to get back to CrossFit.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, physical therapy is definitely something that can help you because exercise is incorporated in physical therapy. And this is a very collaborative process throughout your healing. So we're going to be setting goals that are tailored to the things that you want to get back to, like CrossFit. So if at any time throughout today or therapy in general, you feel like you're not getting better or you feel like it's not helping you get back to CrossFit, just let me know.
Okay, so after I finish this,
Mhm.
like I'll be able to do CrossFit again?
Well, I can't say for sure that you'll be able to, but after we get into more questions and you explain to me a little bit more
Mhm.
about how this pain started, I think I'll have a better answer to that question.
Okay.
Okay, great. So you also marked yes for a family history of diabetes and hypertension.
Mhm.
Have you been screened for those? Have you talked to your doctor about that?
Yeah, my parents both have high blood pressure and stuff, and talked to my doctor about it before I started to do CrossFit,
Mhm.
and I'm good right now. And he
Mhm.
said with me doing CrossFit and my job,
Mhm.
I should basically stay away from all that stuff because
Okay.
I'll exercise.
Yeah, great. And then you also marked yes for experiencing numbness and having trouble sleeping. Does that have to do with what we've talked about, or are there any other things that you're experiencing numbness, or any other times you're experiencing numbness or having trouble sleeping?
No, yeah, it's just like my shoulder and my
Mhm.
hand, but once I kind of get in a good position, and I'm fine.
Okay, good. And so, did you have any sort of X-rays or MRIs taken?
Yeah, I had one I think like a week or something like that ago,
Mhm.
and
Do you remember like what the results were? Or?
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but my doctor said they look normal,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Okay, well, that's good news. Okay, and then like I mentioned before, part of physical therapy involves me teaching you some exercises, and I'll be sending you home with some exercises as well. So I know you marked here that you don't have any barriers to learning, but do you feel like there's anything that would get in the way of you being able to do those exercises either here or at home?
No, as long as this is going to get me back to CrossFit, I'll do it.
Okay, great. And as far as how you learn best, is there any way you specifically want, like any sort of learning style that you feel benefits you the most?
Um, I mean, at the gym, they show us whatever we're going to do, and as we're doing that movement, they kind of like tap us or say, "Hey, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that good." So something like that. If you can just show me and then kind of like tell me
Cue
what.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I can definitely do that for you. And then I know you mentioned that you're taking ibuprofen and Robaxin that was prescribed to you by your doctor. Do you remember exactly how much you're taking of both of them?
The ibuprofen, I take like the big ones. I think it's like 800. I'm not really sure.
Yes, it sounds
and
like it.
Then the Robaxin, it's 25 milligrams.
Okay. Okay. So why don't we get into when you started experiencing this pain?
Sorry, what was that?
I was just asking about when this all kind of started. But I noticed throughout today, as I was asking you questions that had to do with CrossFit and the pain that you're experiencing, I noticed you kind of space out a little bit. Have you noticed that yourself?
No, I do that.
It seems like you kind of space out a little bit, and I think it has to do with how upset you are that you aren't able to get back to CrossFit. But is there any other reason you think you might be spacing out or having trouble talking about it?
Yeah, I really like to do it, and this is making me not do it. So I guess I do try to ignore this as much as possible and think about this CrossFit.
Yeah. Well, again, like I've said, this is a very collaborative process, and I'm here not only as your therapist, but here as support and kind of as your cheerleader. So if you want to talk about it, that's okay. I'm here, and like I said, I'm here to help, here to support and motivate you throughout this process because I know it's pretty difficult. But I thank you for your vulnerability and sharing all of that with me, and I just kind of wanted to bring it to your attention and see if you were noticing that yourself.
I mean, I didn't really notice it, but I guess thank you for being there for me if I need it.
Yeah, of course. So do you feel like you're okay to talk about when this pain started?
Yeah, I feel better now.
Great. Go ahead.
Well, there was a deadlifting competition about 2-ish weeks ago, and since I'm one of the better ones there, I thought I needed to deadlift a lot. So I tried to do that, and as soon as I grabbed and went up, my neck started hurting, but I'm not going to drop the weight, so I just kept going, and it just got worse. And I think maybe that day or the day after or something, I went to my doctor, told him about it, and he gave me some pain medication and gave me like a shot or something in my shoulder. And my neck pain hasn't really gone away. My shoulder pain hasn't really gone away. And in the last week, I actually started feeling like my hands starting to tingle, and it's just none of it is going away.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see again why this is difficult for you to talk about, or has been difficult for you to talk about. And I know you said that your symptoms haven't really been changing. Do you feel like they're getting worse at all, or just kind of?
I think they're getting worse.
You think they're getting worse? Okay. And has anything like this happened before? Have you ever had an injury like this?
No, never.
Okay. Okay, so I know we've talked a lot about wanting to get back to CrossFit, so that's definitely something that we're going to focus on while you're here. But are there any other specific goals that you have or that you want to get out of physical therapy?
I just want to be able to move my neck.
Okay.
I feel like anytime I do that or that, it just hurts.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just move my neck and maybe you can get me back into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's all I really want.
Okay, we can definitely work on that together. And when you first got here, we had you fill out something called the NDI. Do you remember what the score on that was?
19. Yeah.
19. Okay. All right, so now that we've gone through the first part and asked you some questions, I think we're okay to move into the objective part of the exam. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So after, like I said, all those questions, have there been any change in your pain? If you had to give your pain number right now?
I would say it actually went up to about a 4.
Up to a 4? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna we're gonna move over to this table here, but I want you to stay standing for me. Okay, so first I want to take a look at some of the movement in your shoulders. So first with your left shoulder, can you bring it straight up just like this? Any pain?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna apply some pressure. Let me know if you have any pain. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay. Can you cross your left arm over your chest like that? Any pain? Okay, I'm going to apply some pressure. Any pain?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to try the same thing with the right side. Can you bring your arm straight up? Any pain?
No.
All right, I'm going to push. Any pain?
Nope.
All right, and then cross it over your chest. Any pain?
Mm-mm.
Any pain?
Nope.
All right, great. Can you bend over and touch your toes? Good, you can come back up. So now I'm going to ask you to do that again, but I'm going to apply some pressure.
Okay.
Let me know if you experience any pain, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. All right, come back up. Any pain?
Nope.
All right. Next, I'm going to have you, if you wouldn't mind removing your shirt for me. Okay. So I'm just going to take a look at your posture. So I'm going to look at, noticed while we were sitting that you had great posture, but I'm just going to take a look at it standing. So I'm looking from the front, I'm looking at the side, and while I'm doing this, I'm just checking to look at the curves in your spine, at your neck and your back. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to stand over here. Would you mind walking towards me and then walking back that way? Okay, good. Good. Okay. If you'd like, you can put your shirt back on for right now, but later on I'm going to be doing some tests that require me to ask you to take it off again.
Okay.
Just so you have a heads up. Okay, so go ahead and take a seat for me. Okay. So I want you to clasp your hands and put them around your neck, just like this. Bring your elbows a little together, and then bend down towards your knees. Good. So I'm just gonna push. Let me know if you experience any pain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any pain?
Nope.
Okay, come up just a little bit. Any pain?
Nope.
Okay, you can relax. Let me write that down. Okay, and then I know we've talked a lot about how bending your head down and to the right.
Sorry.
You okay? You sleepy?
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
A little tired. I know we've talked about how bending your head kind of down and turning it is painful for you, but would you mind showing me a movement that reproduces your pain?
Yeah, just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that hurts. That brings my pain to 4.
Okay. So are you, I'm going to ask you to kind of do some different motions with your neck here. So are you able to bend up and look at the ceiling?
Yeah, that's fine.
No pain?
Nope, really good.
Okay. I know this is painful, but I want to see how far you're able to bring your chin down to your chest. So can you do that for me?
Yeah, it's
Right about there?
Yeah.
Okay, you can relax. Okay. Next, I want you to bend. Well, actually, let me get this goniometer. So I'm going to be measuring how far you're able to move your head side to side. So I'm going to place this on the top of your head here. And I want you to turn, let's turn to your left first, okay? Bring, yeah, just turn as far as you can to the left. Okay, good. Any pain?
Nope.
Okay. Now let's go the other way, just so I can have a measurement of how far you're able to go. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Just
right there, yeah.
Okay, you can relax. Okay. And when you say that increases your pain, is that just up here or any numbness and tingling?
No, there's no numbness and tingling, but it's like my neck and my
Your
shoulder.
Okay. How about, can I ask you to bring your left ear to your left shoulder like that? Any pain?
No, not really.
Okay. And then can we try the right side, right ear to right shoulder?
Yeah, like right there.
Painful?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry, I just need a second to see what I want to do next.
That's fine.
Okay. I want to try, since you're sitting here, I want to try this test. And what it's going to entail is me putting my hands over your head like this. I'm going to apply some pressure down and see if that causes a change in your symptoms.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to come over here behind you. I'm going to ask you to tilt your head to the right just a little bit. Okay. Ready?
Yeah, that. Ooh, that I feel that in my neck and my shoulder and a little bit of.
You do have some tingling?
There, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's have you. Would you mind removing your shirt again for me?
Sure.
We're going to do something called a narrow screen. And so all that means is I'm going to be taking a look at the sensation and strength and reflexes in your upper body. That's going to require me to touch different parts of your upper body. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay, so first I'm going to show you, we're going to start with the sensation part. I'm going to show you on your knee what it's going to feel like. So it's going to feel kind of like that, just so you have an idea. And this is going to require me to ask you to close your eyes. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Alright, so the first part is going to be around your face and neck area, just so you're not surprised. But go ahead and close your eyes. Alright, so does this feel the same as this? Does this feel the same as this? Does this feel the same as this?
Yep.
Does this feel the same as this?
Yes.
Does, go ahead and open up your hands a little bit more. Does this feel the same as this?
Can you do that again?
Does this feel the same as this?
No, I think it's a little different actually.
A little different? Okay. this feel the same as this?
Yes.
Does this feel the same as this?
Mm-hmm.
Does this feel the same as this?
Yep.
And does this feel the same as this?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can open up your eyes now. We just write down a couple of things.
Yeah, it was weird when you did it. Like, I felt it here, and I kind of felt it here, but
Just
not
a
as
little.
much.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we're gonna look at the strength in your upper body. So the first part, I'm gonna have my hands around your head. I'm gonna ask you to turn to either side. Don't let me move you, okay? So turn to your left first. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Other side. Hold, hold, hold. Good. Next, can you bring your chin to your chest just as far as you can? Don't let me move you. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Next, can you bring your, we'll do this side, left ear to left shoulder. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Same thing on the other side. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Next, can you shrug your shoulders for me? Don't let me move you. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Bring your arms out like this. Don't let me move you. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Okay. Next, bend both of your elbows up like this. Okay. Don't let me move you. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. All right. Don't let me move you. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. Relax for a second. Let me just write down a couple of things. Okay. Bring your arms back up the way you had them. Okay. Don't let me move your wrist. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. And then turn them both out this way. Don't let me push it. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. And hold, hold, hold. Good. You can relax your arms down. Can you flex, or wait, not flex, sorry. Curl your fingers up just like this. Don't let me move them. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Good. You give 2 thumbs up. Ready? Hold, hold, hold. Hold, hold, hold. Then spread your fingers out for me. Don't let me move them. Ready? Good. Good. Okay, go ahead and relax. We're going to do a couple other things. Okay, next I'm going to be looking at some of the reflexes in your upper body. So I'm going to start on this other side here. Okay, so I want you to have your arm just like this, and then flex your bicep for me. Okay, relax. Go ahead, relax and look straight ahead. Good. Okay. Relax and look straight ahead. Good. And then I want you to have your arm here. Relax. Good. Alright, same thing on the other side. Yeah. Flex your bicep for me. Good. You can relax your arm down. Good. 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 Alright. Okay. Next, I want you to lie face down, and I'm just going to feel around the area that you're experiencing pain, okay?
Okay.
So let me know if you experience any pain or anything like that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we said up here. Any pain here?
Yeah, it's a little tender.
Right here. How about as I go lower?
No, it kind of goes away when you're low.
Okay. I'll go up here.
Yeah, it's tender.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna feel the other side and just to have a comparison of the two. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No tenderness or pain.
No, it feels fine.
Okay. I notice you seem a little more stiff on this side than on this side. Okay, write a few things down. Okay. Next, I'm gonna try doing something where I apply some pressure on your spine. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I just want you to wiggle your fingers on your, let's just say on your left hand, if you experience any pain. Okay.
Okay.
That way you're not having to talk down at the floor.
Okay.
Raise the table just a little bit. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try going off to one side,
Mm-hmm.
and again, let me know if you have any pain.
Yeah, that's painful.
That's painful.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me have you flip over onto your back, and if you'd like to put your shirt back on, you can do so now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting a little cold.
Yeah, I appreciate you being patient with me and bearing with me. Okay, so I am gonna take your head and neck through some different motions, kind of how I asked you to do on your own. Let me know if you have any pain with them. Okay.
Okay.
So first, I'm gonna move your head side to side. Any pain?
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable there.
A little bit. I'm gonna try the other side. Okay. That one okay?
Yeah, that one feels better.
Okay. I'm gonna rotate you a little bit.
Yeah, I feel better.
Okay, and go the other way. Okay.
Yeah, that feels better.
Good. Okay, next I'm gonna try something where I just kind of pull on your neck a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and see if that changes any of your symptoms. Okay.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels better. My pain in my shoulder didn't hurt as much.
Mhm.
And no tingling in my hand.
Oh, great. Good. Okay, and then one more test I want to try. Can I have you scoot over to the edge of the table this way? Okay, good. So I'm gonna be taking your arm through some weird motions, but just let me know if this changes any of your symptoms again, okay?
Okay.
All right, so can I ask you to put your hand into a fist with your thumb on the inside, just like that. Great. So, any change here?
Oh yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, a lot of tingling in my hand.
A lot of tingling?
Yeah.
Okay, we can relax. You can scoot over to the So you can go ahead and sit up now. And so after going through some of these tests and the questions that I asked you, I think I have an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
So in your spine, there are bones stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your vertebrae. And there are nerves that go along down your spine. You have one long spinal cord, and there's nerves that come out of that spinal cord and into your arms and legs and everything. Mm-hmm. So when there is pressure up against the root of the nerves that come off the spinal cord, you can experience symptoms like numbness or tingling, and it can even affect muscles and some structures that are in the area as well. So that is what I think is going on. It can be due to structures or things that close up the space wherever the nerve's coming out of. Mm-hmm. But that's something that's commonly seen in physical therapy and something that we can help treat.
Okay.
And I think that you have a really good chance of getting back to CrossFit and not experiencing the pain in your shoulder or the numbness or tingling.
Well, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think is going on, and that's what I think we're going to be able to do working together. But do you have any questions about what I think is going on as far as your symptoms and as far as you being in physical therapy?
Like how many times do I have to come, and like how long until I can do stuff?
So I think I would like to see you maybe twice a week for the next 6 weeks. Does that sound reasonable or doable?
Yeah, anything to help me get back to CrossFit.
Great. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Good. Okay. So since we have a little bit of time, I want to show you some exercises today, and then I want you to do at home.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to show you is something called a snag, and what it is I don't know if you noticed that when you went into certain movements, it made your pain worse, but other movements made it better. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do is if you have a towel at home, I want you to put it around your neck. You'll cross over, so just like this.
Okay.
You'll pull down with the one with the arm that's underneath.
Okay.
And you'll pull to the side with the other arm. And what that's doing is opening the space where the nerve is coming out of and relieving the tension and the compression that's on that nerve.
Okay.
So can you go ahead and try that for me?
Yes. So you said
So we'll cross over.
Mm-hmm. This way?
So.
Okay, I see what you this way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one that's on the bottom,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna pull down.
Okay.
And the one that's on top, you're gonna help move your head.
Okay. So this is as far as I can go.
Okay. How is that feeling?
If I go any more, it kind of hurts, but right here it feels okay.
Okay, so if you can just go to there, that's fine. And as we do these exercises and as we work on it, you'll be able to increase the range in which you're moving your head. But for right now, that's opening the space, like I said, and relieving the tension that's on that nerve. So does that exercise sound okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. And then the other thing I want us to do is remember when I was pulling up on your neck and it kind of helped you feel a little bit better?
Yeah, that felt good.
So that's also something we can do as far as treatment. Mm-hmm. So here in therapy, we'll do that a couple of times to help you feel better. But at home, we can give you something called a self traction.
Okay.
Self-traction is what the exercise is called. And so either we're going to give you something that is placed around your neck, and it'll just go, it's kind of like a rope or string that's over your door.
Okay.
And it will be sort of like a pouch that you can put water into. And all it's going to do is the more water you put in, the more it's going to pull up on your neck.
Okay, so like when you pulling, it's just the bag.
Yeah.
Pulling. Oh, okay,
Pretty
sweet.
much,
Sounds good.
Yeah, and that'll have the same effect as what I'm doing here in therapy, but you'll be able to do it at home.
Okay, awesome.
Great. So do you have any other questions about the exercises or anything in general?
If you could like print it out,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll get that printed out and you will have that before you leave today.
Okay, awesome.
Great. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure working with you and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Sweet.
Great. And cut.